Here is something that might shock you, but it is absolutely true. Customers don, they hand over money because of your diplomas or certificates. They pay you because of how you make them feel when they around you. This sounds crazy, right? But it's the reality nobody wants to admit. There is a crucial lesson missing from everything we learn in school: how to claim your natural authority from within. Instead, our education system trains us to sit around waiting for someone else's approval, collecting fancy degrees, official certifications, and seeking validation from institutions. But here is what I want you to consider. Many of the most life-changing teachers and leaders throughout history didn't possess any of those traditional qualifications. They never asked anyone for the green light to share their message. They simply became their own source of permission. Their words came straight from their heart and personal experience, not from some textbook, and people gladly paid them, not because they had official training, but because they were genuinely authentic. Carl Jung, who stands as one of psychology's most profound minds, understood something powerful called archetypes, these timeless patterns that exist deep within every human being. You can learn these through study. You can only learn to express them naturally. And when you do, everything shifts dramatically. So throughout this discussion, I want to explore how you can tap into this incredible power, how you can get people to pay you for sharing your authentic truth. This works even if you never set foot in a classroom to study your subject. This works even if you don't to have impressive letters following your name on business cards. Stick around because I am going to explain how your personal journey becomes your strongest credential and why this journey holds more weight than any official document. I'll also expose the hidden belief that is secretly preventing people from asking for money in exchange for their natural talents, plus how to change this limiting mindset. Before we dive in, if you into self-growth, mindset, and building real inner strength, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's grow together. Let us begin with something that might be difficult to accept. In today's world, people have stopped paying for basic information. We drowning in information. It's literally everywhere we look. What people actually spend money on now is genuine transformation. They pay to feel truly heard, genuinely supported, and completely understood. They pay because they want to experience a real shift happening inside their mind and heart. And here is the key point. Creating transformation doesn't require official credentials. It requires crystal clear communication, complete authenticity, and the ability to connect emotionally with others. That is what opens wallets, not because you officially qualified on paper, but because you created a genuine emotional experience for someone. Think about this scenario. Imagine a 25-year-old person who battled severe anxiety and discovered how to calm their nervous system naturally. A successful 45-year-old business executive might gladly pay thousands of dollars to learn these same techniques. Why would this happen? Because transformation doesn't care about your age, your work history, or your social status. It follows genuine truth and real-life experience. But here is what is tragic. Countless people keep their truth hidden. They convince themselves they were not ready yet. They think to themselves, who am I to ask for payment? Jung would recognize this voice immediately. It's the damaged ego speaking. It is what he called the shadow side of our personality. If you don't to address this internal wound, if you can to genuinely believe in your own value, then no marketing strategy, no pricing guide, and no business mentor can rescue you. Because people sense your inner energy long before they process your actual words. This is the secret. Your energy speaks louder than your evidence. People can immediately detect when you secretly embarrassed about charging money. They can feel when you seeking approval, waiting for some authority figure to officially declare you legitimate. But the unconscious mind never lies. It notices what the conscious ego tries to cover up. When you fully embrace your message, when your voice carries the vibration of authentic truth, it creates a connection that cannot be denied. That is what people put their trust in. That is what they were willing to pay for. So if you reading this and wondering, okay, but how do I actually convince people to pay me? How do I become recognized as an expert without being fake about it? Perfect. That means you ready to transform something fundamental within yourself. Because now we're going to dive into the exact mental shift that transforms your personal story into a powerful magnet for clients. and how to discover your unique archetype so you stop waiting for the world to give you permission. Now let me pose a question to you, Don, to answer out loud. Just feel this in your body. Have you ever found yourself sitting with someone who didn't possess the most impressive job title, but something about their energy made you pay closer attention? Their presence, their personal story, their raw honesty, it just hit you right in the heart. That is the force of embodied authenticity, and it is exactly what people want to invest in. Let us settle this debate once and for all. Your life story is your certification. Every emotional breakdown, every heartbreak, every burnout, every moment you hit rock bottom, every sudden insight, every quiet healing session, and every late-night reflection in your journal, all of it has value. Carl Jung described this as the individuation process, the journey of discovering who you really are underneath all the false masks you wear. And when you walk this path with full awareness, it becomes healing medicine for other people. But here is the ironic twist. Most people are actively rejecting their own medicine. They view their difficult past as something that disqualifies them, not as something that gives them authority. They hide the exact experiences that make them relatable and human. And this is their biggest error, because what builds genuine trust in our modern world isn't having a perfect image. It is being fully present and real. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine two different people offering identical services. The first person says, I hold a certificate from XYZ Academy. I completed 48 hours of official training. The second person says, I've actually experienced this suffering myself. I walk down the same difficult road you traveling right now. I found healing, and I am here to walk alongside you on your journey. Which person do you trust more deeply? The first might grab your logical attention, but the second one captures your emotional heart, because we're not looking to hire a machine. We're looking for genuine connection and understanding. We're naturally drawn to people who survived the flames of difficulty and returned with stories that echo our own struggles. That is exactly why Jung observed, we dawn to become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. And this is precisely what makes you valuable in the marketplace. Not because you received formal training, but because you've undergone real transformation. That is what creates emotional credibility. Not a rehearsed presentation, not a flawless brand image, but serving as a mirror for others. And this is exactly where most people completely miss the point. They believe credibility means looking professional, dressing in a certain style, talking like a polished public speaker, and pretending confidence until it becomes real. But this approach only works when you stuck in your head instead of grounded in your authentic truth. So here is what I need you to remember above everything else. Your pain is not a character flaw or weakness. It is actually your doorway to power, your chaotic journey to something to be ashamed of. It is actually what draws people to you. Your personal experiences aren't just background details. They're your greatest asset and source of power. The real question becomes, are you embracing this truth, or are you still trying to clean up your life story to appear more professional and polished? Now we're going to dig into the deeper aspects of this concept, including why these natural personality patterns carry more weight than any formal qualifications, and how to naturally express the energy of a wise teacher, a natural healer, or a system-challenging rebel, so that people sense your expertise before you even speak your first sentence. Before we continue forward, I want you to consider this question. If I valued my personal story as something truly precious and meaningful, how would that change the way I present myself to the world? Take a moment to really think about this, because you already have all the answers you need somewhere inside you. Now, let us dive even further into this topic. Let's discuss something that the corporate business world rarely mentions openly, but those who understand the deeper spiritual side of life know intimately well. The individuals who create genuine transformation in people's lives, the ones who ignite authentic change, aren't necessarily the ones with the most formal education. The people who have fully absorbed and integrated their authentic truth into who they are. Carl Jung identified these individuals as living archetypes. They don't pretend to be something they're not. They naturally radiate certain energy patterns. They naturally show up as the wise teacher, the natural healer, the system rebel, the trusted mentor, or even the transformational alchemist. And this clear energetic presence communicates more powerfully than any rehearsed sales presentation ever could. These people don't feel the need to prove that they were the expert in the room. They simply feel like the expert, and that feeling is unmistakable. And here is the fascinating truth. People don't make a conscious decision to pay for this quality. But their subconscious mind absolutely does. The unconscious part of the mind, both yours and your potential customers, responds directly to energetic frequency, emotional resonance, and archetypal patterns. That is exactly why someone might tell you, I can't even explain it logically, but something inside me just knew I had to work with you. That is the power of resonance in action. That is what money naturally flows toward. So let me pose this question to you. Which archetype are you running away from or hiding? Did your life experiences naturally shape you into a healer, but you were terrified to claim this role because you never attended medical school? Have you always carried a rebellious spirit that sees flaws in current systems, but you keep that part of yourself quiet to maintain social respectability? Do people naturally seek you out when they need clarity, deep reflection, or inner peace, but you still question yourself with thoughts like, who am I to ask for money for this? Jung would recognize this as the unintegrated self, the part of your personality that understands your natural power but hasn't learned to trust it completely yet. But something amazing happens when you finally claim your natural archetype without any apologies or hesitation. You completely stop needing to sell yourself. You stop needing to put on a performance. You become naturally magnetic to the right people. Because our world is desperately hungry for authentic realness. People are literally starving to feel truly understood and seen. And the most powerful gift you can possibly offer is your complete, unedited self. Every single archetype has the ability to generate income. Every single one. Money ISN is something that's only available to the strategic planner or the smooth-talking salesperson or the polished online business owner. Money follows genuine value. And every archetype creates value in their own unique and special way. So if you ever caught yourself thinking, I'm just a creative person, I'm more focused on spiritual matters, not business stuff. I prefer supporting others rather than being the leader. Let's pause right there. You are not just anything. You are carrying a natural archetype that is specifically designed to create meaningful impact and, yes, to generate substantial income as well. Let me break down exactly how this works for each type. First, the natural healer. You don't need formal therapy training or medical degrees. Your very presence serves as medicine for others. Natural healers get paid to create safe emotional space for people. Think about life coaches, energy healing practitioners, grief counselors, and even people who guide others through breathing exercises. You earn money by helping people reconnect with their authentic selves. People will happily invest their money in that kind of emotional safety and healing. Second, the rebel spirit. You naturally challenge existing systems. You can spot what is wrong or broken long before other people notice. Rebels make money by creating things that don't exist yet in the world. You might launch podcasts, start social movements, develop disruptive new products, or create radical content that challenges the status quo. You are the person who says, this ISN isn't working anymore, and then build something better to replace it. People pay rebels because they trust them to lead necessary revolutions and changes. Third, the wise guide or sage. You naturally possess deep clarity and can offer truth that cuts through all the confusion and noise. You earn money by taking complex ideas and making them simple, by offering clear frameworks, life philosophies, and mentorship guidance. Whether you re-sharing your wisdom on YouTube, writing books, creating online courses, or building communities, people invest in your unique perspective and viewpoint. You help them understand their life in ways they couldn't do before. Fourth, the lover or natural empath. Your heart is naturally open and centered on caring. You feel things deeply and genuinely. Your natural currency is pure compassion and understanding. Whether you working in relationships, parenting guidance, or workplace dynamics, you specialize in holding people through their most vulnerable and difficult transitions. People will gladly pay to feel safe, truly seen, and emotionally soothed in a world that is desperately hungry for gentleness and softness. Fifth, the creator or natural artist. You don't just make art for decoration. You transmit soul and deep meaning through your work. Creators turn their gifts into money through visual art, powerful storytelling, music, design work, and even intuitive branding for businesses. You help people feel truly alive, and that experience is worth far more than you probably realize. Beauty has the power to heal people, and beauty definitely sells in the marketplace. 6th, the alchemist or mystic. You naturally connect the visible world with the invisible spiritual realm. From spiritual teachers to intuitive business coaches to tarot card readers, the alchemist makes money by translating pure energy into clear understanding and guidance. You give solid shape and form to mystery and the unknown. You create and hold sacred rituals, lead meaningful ceremonies, and offer spiritual frameworks that help people navigate life. And yes, spiritual work absolutely deserves to be paid because transformation has real value, even when you can physically touch or measure it. Here is the essential truth. You have to transform into a completely different person to start earning money. You simply need to become a fuller, more complete version of who you naturally are right now. Each personality type has its own unique road to financial success, but that road only becomes visible when you stop rejecting your natural design and gifts. When you fully accept and embrace your authentic self without making any excuses, something magical happens. Your ideal audience, your perfect clients, or your natural community can finally see and recognize exactly what they've been searching for all along. They were not looking for just another expert, another self-proclaimed guru, or another step-by-step checklist. They were looking for a mirror, someone who reflects back their own potential and possibilities. And here, it's where this concept becomes much bigger than just personal financial gain. This isn't only about you getting paid for your work. This is actually about how we transform our entire world for the better. When you genuinely embody your truth, not just talk about it, not just use it in your marketing, but actually live it every single day, you automatically give other people permission to do exactly the same thing. This is exactly what Jung was referring to when he said that the most dangerous and harmful thing is the unlived life. When we refuse to acknowledge and use our natural gifts, we contribute to creating a society filled with emotional numbness, complete burnout, and deep disconnection from what really matters. But when you make the conscious choice to live your natural archetype completely and freely, you become a living, breathing invitation for healing and transformation in others. You start reflecting real possibility back to people around you. You help shift collective consciousness, not by sharing information or giving lectures, but simply through the frequency and energy you naturally carry. That is genuinely how we make our world a better place to live. It's not by fighting to climb traditional success ladders, not by collecting impressive awards and trophies, but by simply declaring, this is exactly who I am. This is what I've actually lived through and experienced. And I am offering it with genuine love. And absolutely, yes, people will gladly pay you for that authentic offering. Not because you manipulated them with clever sales tricks, but because you helped awaken something real and true that was already inside them waiting to emerge. Now we're going to address the final internal barrier that prevents most people from ever stepping into this powerful truth, their complicated relationship with money itself. Because the unfortunate reality is that many of us have been conditioned to believe that getting paid for our natural gifts is somehow selfish, that truly helping others should always come from personal sacrifice, that receiving money is somehow less spiritual than constantly giving it away. And this limiting belief is keeping the most heart-centered people financially broke, completely burned out, and increasingly bitter about their situation. Let us examine this belief system carefully and completely rewire your sense of self-worth from the inside out. Here is something nobody explains to you when you're walking a path of service, spirituality, or natural healing work. If you secretly believe deep down that asking for money makes you a greedy person, if you experience guilt every single time someone pays you for your services, if your nervous system becomes tense and tight every time you have to say your prices out loud, people will absolutely sense and feel that internal conflict. Not because you were saying anything obviously wrong with your words, but because your energy never lies about what you were really feeling inside. Carl Jung observed that the unconscious mind is constantly communicating, even when our mouth stays completely silent. So when you carry unresolved shame around the topic of being paid for your work, that shame leaks out through your body posture, your vocal tone, your marketing messages, your personal boundaries, and your basic ability to receive what you deserve. And people unconsciously pick up on and respond to that conflicted energy. They either start mirroring your own self-doubt, or they completely disappear from your life. So let us identify the root cause of this problem. Most of us grew up inside systems that taught us these limiting messages. Do good work in the world, but don't make a profit from it. Stay humble and modest, don't to become wealthy. Money is meant for traditional business people, not for people like you. If your work is spiritual in nature, it should always be offered for free. This isn't about chasing money for its own sake. It is about aligning your personal energy so that money becomes a natural extension of your deeper purpose and calling. If you could fully claim your natural archetype today, which one would it be? Healer, rebel, sage, lover, creator, or mystic? Let me know in the comments if you found this video useful. Please like it and subscribe to the channel. There are more videos on this channel that will help you become a better version of yourself.